This question is the one that you should be asking, and we had several people, I think, that were interested in this. But the question comes to us is, how much is the proper amount or the ideal amount to start off investing? And that is a great question. We do it in a percentage in the financial planning world. And because that a percentage works out over the long haul of your investment more than a dollar amount. It is a dollar amount, but to help people understand, what I want you to do is to think as your first goal, that if you started investing today, if you said, I'm going to start investing today, what is a good goal so that by the time, let's say I'm 25 and I want to start investing, by the time I'm 65, that goal is 10%. 10% of your income is what we use as a watermark to ensure that if you do that over the life of your investments, that as you get an increase, obviously your investing would increase a little bit. And if you maintain 10% of your income in an investment over the life of your working life, by the time you retire, you will have a very good retirement and have a very strong, secure retirement. Now, many times people say, well, what if I want to do more? Well, if you want to do more, that's better. The more you do, the better. The bigger your income is going to be in retirement. What if I can't do that? Start where you can. If it's 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, wherever it is, you want to start there. Now, that being said, 10% is your goal. That's what you want to get to as your minimum. Now, if you have a 401k and you're listening and you say, well, they've got a 401k at my work and they match 5%, I tell people, no matter what you have to do or what you have to adjust in your life, get to that 5%. Why are you so adamant about that? Because that 5% is free money. It represents free money. Your company is willing to give you a match up to 5%. There's a dollar value in there that the company is going to give you free money out of their money to match yours. That has a very, very big, significant impact on your portfolio over the life of your investments. So 10% your goal. If you have a match, whatever the minimum match is, that's the first thing that I want you to do. If you can do up to 10%, get there. But at a minimum, if you have a match, make sure you're hitting that match so you don't leave free money on the table. So I'd like to give an example. I don't want to take the whole time here, but
I just want to interject something. Remember, 10% lay up treasures in heaven.
Yeah, that's right.
And then 10% to yourself.
That's right.
And you won't ever have any insecurity if you'll do that
is,
in heaven or on earth.
That is very true. And that is one of the greatest habits you'll ever get into is 10% tithe, 10% investment in yourself or your retirement, and you will be secure. That brings the blessing of the Lord, and it allows you to make sure that you're doing what you're required to do to have a very healthy life and particularly retirement when you get to it. That's good. Very true.
Good.
And that's a good point. Very good. So let me give you a working live example. And I tried to use very simple numbers because it makes it easier. When you start getting into a lot of different numbers, it can get harder. But let's say when we talk about the power of compounding and how it works. Compounding is your best friend. It's designed to do the heavy lifting in your investments while you're doing other things. It's your assistance. And it's working even when you're not working. It's working all the time. It's at work doing things that really are hard to equate to. But if you took $1,000 today and you said, all right, I've got $1,000 and I'm going to part with this and I'm going to invest in the market and I'm going to put that in, $1,000. We're going to assume that you'll get a 10% return. Now, that's probably a little better than we normally do, but for sake of the simplicity, we're going to assume that you can get a 10% return. And you're going to invest that money for 20 years. So you take $1,000 today, put it in the market, forget about it, you go on about your life. In 20 years, and again, that's not doing anything else. That's just assuming a 6%. That would be worth $6,727.52. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot. And you say, well, that's, but you haven't done anything with that. You just let that money grow all by itself. And so that's not enough for retirement, but here's what I want you to look at. If you take that same $1,000 and you invest it over 20 years, and we're assuming a 10% return, annualized return, and let's say you said, well, I can do an extra $100 a month. So now you add in an extra $100 a month in addition to the $1,000 that you put in for 20 years. At the end of 20 years, that new total would be $82,330.56.
$100 a month.
Just $100 a month added to that. That's pretty amazing. I hope that you caught the power of that, because that's what compounding. Now, we could do this for a longer time and the numbers would be bigger. I chose 20 because it's kind of a shorter number. Maybe today, if you're at 40 years old and you feel like, well, I'm not doing anything, I'm failing, I can't get there. 20 years is enough time to make a very big impact, and that's $1,000 and $100 a month. You may well be able to do more. So it's very important to understand the impact that compounding interest can have on an investment, but you have to get something invested for that to work. I hope that you will continue to send in your questions. They mean a lot to us, because we can talk about a lot of things, but what we really want to do is find out what's important to you, the level of understanding, the questions that you have. So hopefully that we can add value to your investment knowledge, and that you can increase and grow in that, and stay curious and read as much as you can, get as much information. But when you have a question, please feel free to just send that in to us. Send those questions in, because we really do enjoy them, and answering them helps us to make sure that we're being relevant and pertinent to you.